if we talk about Colorado, they had a whole different set of receivers. They had a big day today. So that's kind of what you got to have because, again, we're talking about game planning. And if a team come out and let T-Mac have another 200-yard day, I mean, their defensive staff is terrible. So I think that, you have to kind of watch it there because it's too easy for people to game plan people out of the thing. He made some great catches with his size. Where he jumped up over people and was able to make a play. But I think that defense probably going to shade over to him a little bit more this coming week.
And you know how the old saying is the eye in the sky don't lie. So when they say the eye in the sky don't lie, there's a lot of defensive coordinators that are looking at that film and understanding how to stop that. So we have to be able to adjust. So as they try to adjust to us, we have to adjust to them. Yeah. We have to come up with something different. You got to get that
third receiver going.
And get that other guy going.
Exactly. Because one thing I worry about is us being too Cowan and T-Mac trying to get their 1,000 yards, trying to get all their accolades together. And at the end of the day, it's about winning, David Kelly. You said it yourself. It's about winning, not necessarily about your stats. We want you to have those stats.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if the quarterback is kind of really looking at those two guys, you're going to see more interception.
Yeah. Michael Wiley is the return guy. I don't know that I like that. I think there's got to be somebody. I mean, don't get me wrong. Michael Wiley is a tremendous athlete, but I think that they've got to find somebody else for that role. Exactly.
Yeah.
I would absolutely agree with that.
But I'm going to tell you why something like that happened. He came back after he entered his name into the draft or was going to.
See, again, are they trying to showcase him for the next level?
That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
I was saying, and with that being said, more than likely for a running back to make a team, he has to play special teams. And a lot of times in the return game as the second or third back, which is more than likely he's going to be. And you notice how they're trying to. And the other thing I noticed that they're trying to do to get to help him out with looks at the NFL, they're passing him the ball more than actually running.
Yeah.
So they're really doing the NFL thing and trying to, I guess, help showcase these guys for the league. But is that going to get wins? And that's what we have to.
That's
exactly.
That's
how much of it is development?
Yes,
how much of it are we trying to win football games?
And it also, when you get him in certain positions, they know that he's going out in the backfield. You know that we got to change that up. That's why we got to get those other backs in there. And
they were right there.
Yeah, and they're right there every time when he got the ball.
I was afraid he was going to get hurt on a couple times.
Absolutely. So they're trying to get that. So they got to do different.
Because that's your third receiver right now, right?
Yeah,
that's your third receiver right now. So you take away those two
guys. 8 catches for 60 yards tonight.
Yeah, so that's your third receiver. So guys are going get over there and take shots on them, and that's what these guys were doing.
All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We are going to have highlights coming up for you. We'll also check in with our best bets to see who's cashing tickets. You'll hear from the head coach, Jed Fish, after this ball game. All that and a whole lot more. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show, Arizona Game Day Postgame Show. I'm David Kelly for Kelvin Efon and Glenn Howe. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you in part by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog and Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Pulse and Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC. Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, I think we've got the stream back. I'm not going to mess with it.
Don't touch it.
I'm not going to try to overload it with video or anything other than just the three of us and J-Dub and you guys calling us and that kind of thing. So tried to show some highlights over us, and that didn't really work out. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. I'm David Kelly, joined by the captain, Kelvin Efon, 1988. U of A football class of 1985, tight end Glenn Howe also joining us. Let's get into some of the highlights of this ball game tonight. Mississippi State looked like they were just going to roll this game early. A 12-play, 75-yard drive. And, guys, to start this, I mean, the first 3 plays of this game went Jaquavius Woody Marks for 8, Marks for 14, Simeon Price for 8. So they had 10 yards a play the first 3 plays. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, boy, we are in for a long night. They marched all the way down inside the red zone, but the Wildcats had them in a 4th and 4 when the Bulldogs decided they were going to go for it.
Pistol set. Marks behind Rogers. 4th and goal at the Arizona 4. Griffin in motion. Rogers play fake, throws it. It's caught. Robinson breaks the tackle, but not another one, and fumbled the ball into the end zone, but he was down. Or is that a touchback? That'll be a touchback as he fumbled the ball through the end zone and out of bounds, and the Wildcats will take over. In fact, that will give them great field position compared to where they could have been at about the 3-yard line.
And the other thing about this game, guys, we haven't talked about defensively was the fact that not only were the Wildcats without Traden Stukes, but Dylan Wyatt also did not play. And then you had Gunnar Maldonado out the front. So that's 3 DBs, 2 that you were out the full game, and 1 you were out for half the game. And they still had to show up.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about it, Mississippi State played right into our hand. They just ran the ball.
Yeah.
They didn't even try to, to
take advantage
of
the
the DBs not being in. They like, we have a game plan. This is what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball at the West Coast team, and it almost cost them a game.
Yeah, again, I bet you Will Rogers is agent is pissed.
NIL money going down right now. Going to that running back. Going to
NFL,
Woody.
Gone.
And Martell Irby, again, just seems to be a playmaker. Had the force fumbled there. Had a tackle for loss in this ball game. 6 total tackles. Again, just a guy that's showed up on defense in both of these first 2 ball games. So the Wildcats got the ball back. Their first possession, I should say, lasted 4 plays.
Offensive line shifts. 4 men up front now. Back Delore to throw. Has some time. Waiting. Fires over the middle. And it's picked off by Mississippi State. Bulldogs with the ball back the other way across the 50 down to the Arizona 48. Turnover. And it's now Bulldogs ball. That was Nathaniel Watson. We talked about him early.
We mentioned earlier Mississippi State converted on just 3 third downs in this ball game. 1 of them got them a touchdown.
Empty set now for Rogers. Play fake, throws it right. Caught Griffin inside the 15, 10, down to the 5, dives for the pylon, and he's in. Touchdown, Mississippi State.
That's a cat and mouse game that Mississippi State's playing right now.
7-0 Mississippi State. Wildcats got the ball back. This possession lasted 3 plays.
Delore working out of the gun. He's got Wiley to his right in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Long snap count here. Jaden will take it back to throw. Has time. Waits. Fires over the middle. Intercepted. Picked off. Back the other way is Jet Johnson inside the 10 and down to the 5. 1st and goal for Mississippi State.
Big fella had 2 of them.
Jet Johnson. We talked about Jet Johnson and Nathaniel Watson before the game. And what I think last week I said they combined for 22 tackles.
Yeah.
Today they combined for 21.
And Jet Johnson looked like a D lineman.
How about this? 21 combined tackles for those 2. 2.5 tackle for loss, 3 interceptions, 1 pass breakup, and 1 quarterback hit for your 2 linebackers.
Yeah. And I said it before. A lot of times, a lot of people think it's instincts that guys are playing with, but really it's IQ. We're talking about 2 graduate guys that have been around, that have seen every type of offense, played against this offense before. And I think more so than just reading Delora, they were reading the offensive concepts. I mean, I'll say this real quick. I remember being in the NFL and Greg Beaker, if everybody remember, for the Raiders. Yeah. And I was wondering, how do you know where I'm going to be at? And he said, it's the play. One guy goes over the top. One guy has to go to the flat. So regardless, I just get to the flat. So these guys are reading formation and plays as well as, noticing any keys from the quarterback.
All right, then it would be Woody again.
Rodgers will take the snap, hand off Marks again, carries a couple men to the goal line. He's in, touchdown, Mississippi State.
14-0 Bulldogs. The Wildcats' third possession lasted 3 plays.
3rd down and 4. Delora out of the shotgun. Wiley to his left in the backfield. Stack receiver set to the right. Back to throw Delora. Pump fake, looking deep. He's going to go deep downfield trying to find Cowing. And it is picked off. I don't believe it. The 3rd interception.
Yeah, I think at that point we were all scratching our heads and saying, "Oh my goodness, they are going to get run out of this ball game."
Is that a record? Is that
3?
close to?
Well, I think it's probably for him. I don't think he's ever. You mean
for
3?
U of A for about 1 quarter?
For 1 quarter. We'll have to look that up. 3 and 1 quarter.
Yeah, and 3. But he had 4, right?
We had 4 in the game.
I know, but is there anybody ever thrown 4 for U of A?
Oh, I would imagine.
I'm sure.
It was interesting because I was looking at when we were looking at some of the bowl game against Auburn in 1968, which we talked about on the pregame show. There were 19 interceptions in that game.
Oh my gosh!
Between the 2 teams,
I didn't even know
the
they
Wildcats
back
had
then.
8 interceptions, and I think they threw 11.
Wow.
In that game.
I didn't know they passed the ball back then.
That's not close.
No, I guess that wasn't the wing tee.
I was like, they did that much throwing in 1968. I was like, I couldn't even believe that when I saw that.
Guys, something I want to check is how many of those interceptions are trying to squeeze the ball into Clowin.
Yeah.
I want
to go back and look at that. Yeah. Because I'm not sure we'd have to see who. Well, let's see. I don't know if they put that on here. Well, okay, so that last one you heard was intended for Cowing. Mm-hmm. The one before that was
the one he jumped earlier was
intended for Cowing.
Yeah.
And the first one was
somebody's getting
intended for McLaughlin.
Somebody's knowing what they're doing.
That third one though, he just looked him down too long, right? Because the safety came over, so I mean, he was looking the entire way. That was not intercepted by the man covering him, right? That wasn't Cowing's man who intercepted that third one. That third one was a safety came over.
Yeah,
right?
he came over from the top.
Yeah, they bracketed him. They're bringing 2. They're bringing 2, sometimes 3 people on.
Yeah.
All right, so 14-0 would be the score at the end of the first quarter, and then the Wildcats finally kind of got things going as they got a drive happening. Took the ball from their 8-yard line all the way down to the 6-yard line of Mississippi State. It was 3rd and 2.
Delora out of the shotgun with Wiley to his left in the backfield. Jaden will take the snap, play fake, wants to run it, throws it in the flat, caught by Cowing. He's belted down, ball is loose. Bulldogs pick it up. If that is a live ball, they've got it all the way out to their own 40-yard line. It would be the 4th Arizona turnover of the night.
See, I thought that was the play that was going to just take all the air out of the building.
Yeah.
When you have a drive like that, which I mean, it looks like it was right around 17 plays, and you don't get anything out of that. I thought, man, they're not going to recover from this now.
But you know what? They came back and fought.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's some resiliency from this team, and that's a good sign.
It is, because at the end of the day,
not a win, but it's a good sign.
But at the end of the day, I kind of you kind of expect for them to get over it, because these are self-inflicted. It's not like the defense was doing it to you. It's like it's not like they were really dominating you, right? Yeah. These were you were moving the ball. You were just making mistakes at key times. They were making plays.
A confident mistake.
Yeah. Right. All right, I said that the Wildcats were really good on 3rd down in this ball game, and they got a huge 3rd down play on the next drive from Mississippi State. 3rd and 10 from the Arizona 14-yard line.
You put Harmon in motion now from right to left. Rogers takes the snap, looking left, looking middle, and he's sacked. The Wildcats break through. Oh, what a huge play for the defense there. They needed that so much.
It was Ty.
It was Ty.
Yeah, Ty Ungalele came free from his defensive end spot and absolutely just wiped out Will Rogers, and with excellent.
That's 2 games, 2 plays for Ty. Had the blocked punt last week, had a big sack this week. And I really liked, he kind of just really did a nice kind of swim move there in the middle to kind of get to the quarterback there.
And kept his balance.
Yeah.
So he showed some athleticism.
All right, Mississippi State would miss a field goal. They would stay up 14-0, and then the Wildcats finally got their offense going. The first big play of the day for T-Mac.
Delora, long snap count, takes it, short drop, sets up, looking deep, going to crank it up. He's going to go deep. Down inside the 5-yard line. Diving catch is made at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Arizona. And guess who?
T-Mac.
Yep, T-Mac. Teteroa McMillan.
No, that was the epitome of a 50-50 ball there.
Yeah,
because he just kind of chucked that ball down there.
Yeah, I mean that was like flag football stuff right there. That was really, because I thought first when he threw it, when I looked at that, I was like, whoa. Did he really catch that, or did that just like bounce? Like I thought, because it was just like thrown up, and then like the other guys were just looking around like they couldn't see the ball.
But those are the kind of balls that he's pretty good at. It seems like to me. Yeah, that
Delora throwing them?
Yeah, no, actually
T-Mac catching them.
the type of catches.
Yeah,
you don't really necessarily see him catching a lot of timing type of passes, but when that ball when it's in a situation to where he can use his athleticism, it seems like he usually makes a play. But again, I'll look at it, and it seems like they're leaving him one-on-one at the time right there and rolling the defense more to Cowing. So it was good that Delora started going to T-Mac.
All right, and Jaden would finish that drive to get the Wildcats on the board.
Delora under center. He'll keep it. Surge ahead. They're pushing. Did he get across the line? The officials have got to stop things here. The clock stopped at 2 seconds. It is a touchdown. He is in. They had to wait and see. And for right now, touchdown Arizona.
Now, Jed did say that he did that completely on his own. That was a Jaden Delora call there. That call did not come from the sideline.
Well, you could tell that because none of the linemen were on the same page.
Now, when I looked at that play right there, could have ran out the clock and we could have ended up missing it on half there? Or did we have we was about to clock it, right?
Right, yeah. He was about to
still
clock
had a timeout.
Yeah.
So
I think they could have called
that could have.
Luckily that the ref kind of waved it off. He waved it off like he thought it was, because he said it was the touchdown.
Yeah, so he said it was already a touchdown, so the script didn't matter. But I guess we paid at the end with that 1 inch, missing that. Yeah, so.
Take an inch, give it inch.
Exactly. 14-7 at the half. Wildcats would go 3 and out of their first possession of the second half, and Mississippi State would go right down and score on 4 plays.
In their win, pistol set here, and they'll give him a rest. Jeffrey Pittman in now as the running back for Mississippi State. 1st down and 10. Rogers, pump fake, going for the end zone, throwing for the corner. It's there. Griffin makes the catch. Touchdown, Mississippi State.
Yeah, that was set up by that 25-yard punt return by Xavion Thomas to give them great field position at the Arizona 30-yard line. 21-7 at that point. Wildcats, though, would take the ball right back down the field and score on their next possession. Jaden Delora to Jacob Cowing.
Delora looking over the defense. He'll take the snap out of the shotgun. Back to throw. Quick pass near side. Caught by Cowing. Dodges a man inside the 10, inside the 5, dives for the pylon. He is in. Touchdown, Arizona.
Jacob Cowing on an out route gets the ball, puts a great move on, and just does the rest, dives into the end zone. Great drive by Arizona.
Wildcats got that touchdown there to get back to within 7 points. And then After that, 21-14. How about another big third down play from your defense?
Rodgers working out of the gun. Pittman to his right, back to throw. Here comes the rush again. He's sacked by Jacob Manu. Back inside the 45-yard line. It's 4th and long.
Arizona bringing the pressure once again. Jacob Manu blitzed that time, and he came completely free. And he was all.
That was early in the fourth quarter. Again, guys, we talked about the 8 tackles for loss last week. You had 6 tackles for loss in this ball game by the defense, 2 sacks. So that was good to see against a legitimate opponent.
Yeah, and Manu, man, that was nice how he faked like he was going to run to the flag.
Yeah.
It was like a delayed blitz, and he got in there, and I think Will, wasn't really paying attention, and he got in there and got that sack. That was a huge play.
All right, Wildcats would get the ball back. A 9-play, 80-yard drive for Arizona. Jaden DeLora had a big throw, finally got Tanner McLaughlin involved on that particular possession, the 28-yard reception that kind of flipped the field there for Arizona. Tanner, in fact, had a couple of catches on that particular drive there. He had 3 catches on that particular drive. And then it was a 3rd down and 6 from the Mississippi State 11-yard line.
3rd down, back to throw. Surveying the field, cranks up, going for the back of the end zone. Caught by McMillan. Touchdown, Arizona.
T-Mac in the back of the end zone. I mean, he goes up high and pulls that one down. What a catch. What a throw by Jaden DeLore. Arizona.
For as much money as the SEC has, they didn't have a lot of cameras at this game because you'd have thought they'd have had a better sight line on that particular play there because it looked like that T-Mac might have stepped out of bounds and come back in bounds, but they didn't have a shot to prove it, which was good for Arizona. Right. So 21-21 was the score. Mississippi State would take the lead on a 36-yard field goal by Kyle Ferry, 24-21 the score, and then the Wildcats would get the ball with about 5 minutes to go, actually 7 minutes to go in this ball game, and Jaden DeLore would make his 4th mistake of the night.
Jaden DeLore out of the shotgun. Wiley to his right in the backfield. Straight back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Throws on the run. Knocked away and intercepted. Picked off. That's Jet again at Johnson, his 2nd interception of the night.
That was just one of those gunslinger moves right there. He just kind of
he ran up in the pocket. Yeah, he climbed the pocket and just let it go. He threw it too hard. He threw that thing hard, boy, and it literally ricocheted off one of his guys. But yeah, he tried to fit it in there.
But the defense, 3 and out, forced a quick 3 and out to Mississippi State.
How about that? That was like that drive right there. They could have just sealed us up.
Yeah, I thought they was going to milk it with the running back.
Yeah, it was going to be done.
They brought
they took care of business.
They brought in the 2nd quarterback there, Mike Wright, and they got him on that tackle for loss. Isaiah Ward and Jacob Manu shut that run down right there, and they forced a punt. Arizona got the ball back. Jaden DeLore hit the big ball to Tetro McMillan for 49 yards, and 3 plays later, they would set up Tyler Loop to try to tie the game.
Ostendorp on the hold. Snap, ball down. Kick is up, plenty of distance, and it is good. And we're even at 24.
I believe that is the first time he ever had a kick in the fourth quarter to tie or potentially win a game. Because that was the one thing I've always talked about is Tyler Loop. He's a great kicker, but he's never had to make a pressure kick. Right. Yeah. This I believe might have in fact been the first pressure kick that he's ever had, and nailed it right down the middle to tie the game at 24. So we would go to overtime. And in overtime, it was a 2nd and 14. Jed Fish had talked earlier in the week on his radio show about the percentages. If you can get a team behind the chains on a negative play, they got the negative play on the penalty to put them behind those chains at 1st and 20. They got 6 back. It was a 2nd and 14, and Mississippi State came up big.
Now Marks, who started wide right, will come up and go in motion. looking to throw, and they'll dump it off. Caught inside, breaking a tackle. Pittman, he's loose at the 20, 15, 10, 5, and in. Touchdown, Mississippi State.
And again, we mentioned it earlier. The disappointing thing about that, as one, I just mentioned, you got them behind the chains, and then two, you had that play snuffed out and couldn't get him down on the ground.
Yeah, you got to make those tackles.
Daniel Hamuli did not make the tackle there.
Those are crucial plays you have to make. Crucial times and overtime, and we just got to make that play. That's just something you're gonna look in film, and you're just gonna feel real disappointed. But that's what those are the plays you have to make.
And Flo was playing so well up until that point. I was wondering why he wasn't in right there in that situation, because he was playing great. I think what you said, 12? Did you say tackles?
12 tackles.
I mean, how many did Hamula? I mean,
he had 3.
3.
Yeah.
See right there, right there. I gotta have my high guy in there.
Yeah.
No offense,
right?
No offense to the other guy, but right there, you gotta have the best guy in there. So yeah, that was personnel mistake right there.
That would be an interesting question for both Jed and Johnny this week. Why Flo was not on the field in that particular situation. So the Wildcats got the ball, needing 3 incompletions. Jaden Delore tried to get the ball to Cowing twice. Chris Keys had a nice breakup, and they put themselves in a 4th down and 10 with the game on the line.
Delore takes the snap, back to throw, under pressure, running out of trouble. Running to the near side, down the near side, looking to throw, looking to run, breaks the tackle, dives. Did he get it?
I think he got it.
Let's see. Let's see if he got the first down. He's at the marker. All he needed to do was get to the edge of that chalk.
Yep. And he's in it.
With the point of the football.
Yeah.
And they actually put the football resting completely on the line when they spotted it. Well, here we go.
After review, the runner's elbow was down with the ball short of the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Wildcats outgained Mississippi State 431 to 307, but in the end, it is the Bulldogs who go home winners tonight by a score of 31 to 24. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show. I'm David Kelly, along with Kelvin Ifan, J.W. Madden, Glenn Howe. We'll have more coming up. Our best bets straight ahead. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame. Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona falls at Mississippi State 31-24. UTEP coming up next at the stadium next Saturday night. I'm David Kelly, joined by the captain, Kelvin Ifan, class of 1998. U of A football class of 1985. Tight end Glenn Howe is also here with us. JW, man in the boards as well. JW had an interesting stat on Mr. Will Rogers.
Well, you guys, you're talking about how many passing attempts he had. This game was his record low, right?
Right.
I don't think it's going to be a mystery to anybody to see that the top 10 all-time First game, he had 29. His second game, just tonight, in overtime, 17 attempts.
Yeah.
17 attempts averages, so it's 30 less than his average for 4 seasons there at Mississippi State.
It's a different era. It's a different era at Mississippi State without the late, great Mike Leach, for sure. All right, let's check our best bets and see who's taking home some money tonight.
How did the 1290 crew do today with their best bets? Let's find out how they did in today's pregame show. Today's best bets are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, the Arizona Wildcats were a 9.5-point underdog in this ball game. We all thought that was too high of a number. We all took the plus 9.5. We all come out winners on that one, as Mississippi State won this game by just 7 points. The over-under, once again, was at 60. You guys said you were going to take the under. I said I was taking the over, so you all are double winners. The Letterman take home the money tonight as the
Cash money.
final number came in at 55, 5 under the 60, so it was under.
Call me Big Bank Hank.
Yeah, Big Bank Hank. And,
What was the over-under on number of interceptions in the game by both teams?
Oh, God.
what do they call those? What do they call the side bets?
Prop bets.
Prop bets. Thank you very much. The prop bets. Yeah, I don't know what that would have been, but I think Jaden might have gone a little bit over that tonight.
Cal's trying to go for a winning drive.
How about that? So, interestingly enough, the Arizona was the first Pac-12 team to lose this year
Yep.
in that ball game. Everyone else has won.
Whoa.
Cal is currently losing
Yeah.
with about 6.5 minutes left to go against Auburn.
UCLA won?
They won 35.
I got the school up north game here, and Oklahoma State was just driving. They were up. There's about 6 minutes to go in that one, too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 20-15, fourth quarter, about 6 to go.
In favor of
Oklahoma State
Oklahoma
is
State's
ahead,
beating
yeah.
them. Okay. So that would be their first loss of the season. So 31-24 the final. Those are our best bets.
And that's how the 1290 crew did with their best bets. Today's best bets were brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, guys, let's take a real quick look at the scoreboard here in the Pac-12 and get you all of those final scores. USC in the fourth quarter leading Stanford 49-3. I think that team from downtown Los Angeles is for real. Caleb Williams, another 3 touchdown passes in that ball game tonight. Let's see if Dorian caught one tonight. He caught a touchdown pass in each of the first 2 games. He has another one tonight. 2 catches for 41 yards. So that's 3 games, 3 touchdowns for Dorian Singer, the one-time Arizona Wildcat, as the Trojans lead by 46. We mentioned Auburn leading Cal 14-10 right now, and we also mentioned Oklahoma State leading about midway through the fourth quarter at Tempe 20-15 over Arizona State. Here are some of your finals tonight. Washington defeated Tulsa 43-10. Michael Penix Jr., 409 yards passing, 3 touchdowns in that ball game. Utah knocked off Baylor 20-13. Big win on the road for the Utes, number 12 in the nation. Number 13, Oregon, was not easy. They won 81-7 last week. Not easy in Lubbock. But they beat Texas Tech 38-30. That'll be a future Big 10 opponent, or Big 12 opponent for the Arizona Wildcats. Oregon State all over UC Davis 55-7. Washington State, Glenn, you said they would win that ball game against Wisconsin. They sweep that. How about that? They sweep that series, winning in Madison last year, winning in Pullman today, 31-22.
Yeah, I don't like that because I know we got to play them boys.
Yeah,
you know,
Washington State's gonna be tough, man.
That
was and before last year. If we were thinking about that game, because they didn't play very well at the end, Washington State. Thinking about that might be a W for us. That's going to be a tough one.
Cameron Ward today, just 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. It looked like that was more of a defensive game maybe for the Cougars, that they were able to get that win today. Also, Colorado, number 22 in the nation, beat Nebraska 36-14. UCLA over San Diego State on the road. That was going to be that was one of the games I said I thought would be interesting to see how they would play down there. UCLA now 2-0 as they knock off the Aztecs 35-10. Arizona loses 31-24 at Mississippi State. Guys, any final thoughts before we let you skedaddle on this Saturday evening?
We got to, regroup, forget about this game, and get ready to really put a hurting on UTEP, and really, take your aggression out on them. We got to be able to regroup and be focused and really have a sound game on offense.
Yeah, I want the guys just to get back. A lot of times they say flush this one and just forget about this game. I don't want them to do that. I actually want them to get back in the film room and look at the film on this and make sure we start to see the bracketing and the different things that they're trying to do to our receivers to try to slow down our passing game. So, but yeah, a lot of learning things from this game. Early in the year, you want to learn from your non-conference. So when you get into conference, you're not making the same mistakes. I think Mississippi State was a good opponent to gauge against conference type of talent. So, I think it ended up, again, you took the loss. There's no moral victories, but I think they got something to work with.
Was that players or coaches?
All right, before we let you guys get out of here, we'll give you a couple more top 25 scores. 2 games involving teams both in the top 25. Ole Miss, number 20, beat number 24 Tulane 37-20. So the Rebels are 2-0 under Lane Kiffin. And then the other game involving 2 ranked teams was the big game today. And Texas goes into Alabama in Tuscaloosa and beats the Crimson Tide 34-24. Outstanding quarterback for the Texas Longhorns, Quinn Ewers, threw for 349 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game.
Wow, I was wrong on that one.
He made himself some money.
Yeah,
he made himself some money.
He saved his coach's job.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you two later in the week. We'll talk to Glenn on Tuesday. We'll break down that. We'll have our game balls for you as well. Well, actually, we won't have game balls because we didn't win. So scratch that thought. We'll talk to you on Tuesday, Glenn, for Wildcat Breakdown. Kelvin, we'll talk to you Thursday afternoon ahead of the NFL game as well to get your thoughts as we lead in to UTEP. We'll take a timeout here, come back and head back down to Starkville and hear from your Wildcats after a 31-24 loss to Mississippi State. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show. I'm David Kelly along with J.W. Madden, Kelvin Ifan, and Glenn Howe on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
At Nova Home Loans, we believe everyone deserves the opportunity to enjoy the independence that comes with home ownership. Whether you're a first-time home buyer who needs down payment assistance, have less than perfect credit, or looking to refinance, Nova has a variety of home loan programs for your unique situation. Visit novahomeloans.com or call 800-955-9125 to learn more. Not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Rates and available loan programs are subject to change without notice. NMLS 3087, BK 0902429, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
Hi, I'm Amber Smith, Chief Strategy Officer for Futures Inc. and former President and CEO of the Tucson Metro Chamber. Meridian Wealth Management is a team of passionate, experienced professionals who understand the needs of businesses while spending time growing the next generation of business leaders. Their passion for the Tucson community and dedication to giving back is why I serve on their Business Advisory Council. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
Broadway in Tucson presents the Rockin' 2023-2024 season feature.
All right, final chance to get in on the program tonight, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you want to talk about this Wildcats loss in Starkville by a score of 31-24. Matthew Bothwell checks in on Facebook, says, tough loss, saw the score, didn't see the game, was at a dance with my girlfriend. Matthew, that is a great way to spend a Saturday night. With your lady and dancing. Two of the best things in the world. All right, let's go back down to Starkville, Mississippi, and hear from your Arizona Wildcats after this loss to the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Head coach Jed Fish, linebacker Jacob Manu, and quarterback Jaden Delora.
Great game, great football game, where two teams certainly felt like a heavyweight fight. Certainly felt like both teams were getting after it, back and forth. They did a great job of taking the ball away early. first 3 possessions. And then after that, I think everything settled down. We ended a yard short. But what I'd say is our defense absolutely battled every single snap. Thought our defense had a fantastic game. I know that there's always going to be a play here, play there. But when you look at what we did, how we kept that offense contained, how we made plays on the ball, how we kept them home to a field goal there at the end, all of those things indicated to me that our defense is playing really good football right now. And then I would say in terms of Tyler Loop coming in, kicking a field goal with 2 seconds left, tying the game up, no flinch. His kickoffs were great today. And all together, I just say that we ended it short.
JJ, what's going through your mind in the first quarter when it seems like it's a disaster?
Man, I feel like credit to Coach and the rest of the staff and everybody else who had helped him. Last year I probably would have dealt with it differently, but I really thought of it. Balls wasn't bouncing the right way, I guess. It's always bouncing up and towards one of their players. But I gotta be clear. Can't turn over the ball the first 3 possessions 4 times, but I mean, I just knew that we had 4 quarters to play, so we couldn't give up in the first quarter.
How do you think you would have handled that last year? Like you said, you would have handled it.
Oh, man. Nah, I would, man. I don't know. I would have shut down. I would have just went into a box.
In the fourth quarter, the plays that Team Mac made, how could you talk about that? Just the Mac team made.
That's Team Mac for you. I mean, you guys are at practice. You guys see the crazy things that he does, the crazy catches. Game's on the line. Gotta get in the ball more. Gotta get in the ball. That's just who he is.
But Jed, despite turnovers for the beat this close, what does it say just about the growth of your team and how far you guys went?
Well, I give credit to these guys. I think Jacob Manu has kept that defense, has led that defense in a way that there was no flinch. I mean, they just went back out. If we turned it over, they went back out and did everything they could to keep it 14-0, and then we scored 14-7 at halftime. You walk into halftime, you can't believe the score based on the way the game's going, but it's the way our defense played. And it's, Jacob made 12 tackles, Flo made 12 tackles. So you got guys that are just battling, making plays. This is a team that's very resilient. We expected to win this game. We came here expecting to win this game. We did not come here scared. We did not come here concerned. We thought we were bringing a really good team. Coach Spurrier once said, how do you win on the road? You bring a good team. And I felt like we were bringing a good team here. And I still feel that way. And that was a great game. I want to give credit to them, though. Their defense is one of the best in the country. Their defense is one of the best, I know, statistically, they're in the SEC. And they make it hard every single play. It is not a defense you see a lot. It's not a defense you go against a lot. And, Zach, Coach Arnett has done a fantastic job. Hats off to him as well.
You mentioned Flo, like he, last week against NAU, he had 11 snaps in this game, 11 plus tackles. How do you think he's helped his way getting more snaps so forward?
Yeah, I think it's because of guys like Jacob and Coach Nansen and Coach Dan Horn. And those guys are working with him every single day. He's in his 3rd system in 3 years. Not many people have to deal with that. He's missed 20 games because of injuries in his first 2 years, or whatever the number is. The fact that Jacob's with him all the time, the fact that Jacob communicates with him all the time, that Coach Van Horn's up there with him, and Coach Nansen has done an incredible job of finding out what these guys do well and doing that. And that's what I give the most credit for, and I think it's fantastic to watch him do it.
And after the first quarter with Jaden and just some of the quarterback troubles that happened in that regard, was there a conversation that you had with Jaden after that? Because it looked like he was a little bit more comfortable going into that second half, made a couple more plays that he had control with.
Yeah, I tell him what I tell him all the time. I love him. I know he's the best quarterback, or one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and things happen sometimes, and so what? Figure out a way to go win the game.
Jacob, what's your perspective of how Justin Flo came in and impacted the game?
I mean, he came in, he was ready to go. He knew what he had to do, and as you can see, it showed up.
What has he shown you, or how can you just talk about the relationship that you guys have developed over the last several months?
So we're real close. Like that's you can ask him. You ask him who's his best friend. He'll tell you me. So yeah.
What kind of energy does he bring on the field?
Oh, he brings all the juice. He's our juice guy. He's gonna bring it all the time. So yeah.
Do you think a performance like this maybe gets him in the starting lineup, Jeff?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to watch the film. I think Daniel's done a very good job for us as well. I think we've got 3 really good linebackers and some young ones behind him and behind them. And I think what we're beginning to see here is we're beginning to see the depth we've been trying to build. I mean, this has been a build, this program. We didn't just come here and just, snap our fingers and it happened. And we had to work really hard to get the right people in place. And we have the right people in place. We have the right offensive players, the right defensive players, and the right special teams players. Some are young, some are a little older, and we got to figure out the right combinations every single time. But we'll certainly see more of Justin, I'm sure. We'll see, we'll have hopefully everybody healthy for next week. That'll be our goal. And, we'll keep working, keep trying to get better, and keep finding a way to be who we say we want to be and who we believe we are, which is a team that's not going to turn the ball over, be disciplined, and score touchdowns in the red zone.
Are there any updates on Martell Irby?
No update that I know of. I think I haven't heard much on that regard.
Health-wise, though, are you expecting everyone to come back?
Yeah, I did not hear any. I have not spoken to the trainers yet at this point. It's kind of still setting in. But it seemed to me that we should be okay from what I understand and what I'm aware of right now. We're waiting on a couple guys, see what happens with Wyatt, see what happens with Stukes, see what happens with Polito. But I believe those are the 3 right now that we have to be aware of.
You talked about the middle 8 a lot. How do you think you did in that category?
Well, we tied, not good enough. We went up 7-0, and then we had the ball to go up 14-0, and we went 3 and out, and they scored. So that's not what you want to do in the middle 8. You got to be, you got to get to that 14. You got to get to that 10. We can't go 3 and out to start the second half. I love that we scored to end the half, but we got to start the second half with the touchdown or field goal.
Maybe a question for all you guys. Just thoughts on the cowbells and just the atmosphere and how loud it was today.
Well, I thought it was cool. I thought I liked how other fans came and everybody had their cowbells. I thought it was good atmosphere for them.
Did it maybe disrupt any communication you guys had?
Not really. That's what was big for us. Elite communication. So I felt like we did a decent job with that.
And then
I would say something on that though. I think this is an incredible environment, and I don't think there's any reason at all why Tucson can't have the same environment. There is no reason why Tucson and Starkville, why there'd be a difference in environment. And I don't see a reason why, if we have a whiteout and we want to load the place up, if our students want to stay all the way till the end, if our fans want to come early and tailgate and enjoy the atmosphere. I mean, we are a college town just like Starkville, Mississippi is. And just because they're located on one side of the map and we're on the other, I hope that our fans show up on Saturday night and for the rest of the year in the same way that these guys showed up tonight. It's a great atmosphere. It makes college football special. We've now got 5 of these left at home. We've got 10 total. I mean, we need all of our fans, and why wouldn't you come to a great football game with a great football team?
Jane, going back to the cowbells, how was that like for you as a quarterback?
It was good. Probably a once in a lifetime atmosphere to play in, especially in college. But it was it's good energy, but I feel like we played with places that's brought this type of energy. Like when I played up at Eugene before, played up in Utah. Pac-12 brings the same energy. So
a lot of people kind of view this game as a real test for the defense going up against an SEC opponent. How do you think, or what do you think your defense showed you guys today?
I think our defense stood up to the test and went punch for punch. I'm more disappointed that our offense at times didn't do the same. We ended up doing it, but I would say our defense, they accepted the challenge, and our defense is just going to keep getting better and better and better and better, and we're going to have one of the better defenses in the Pac-12, and that's the goal, and that is not going to change, and we're going to embrace these. We're going to, as I've always said, you either win or you learn. We got to learn from this, but we've got to accept the fact that we got a defensive squad that loves football, and if you love football, good things are going to come your way.
Mississippi State had less than 40% on third down conversions. How do you think just having so many guys on the defensive line going in and out help the endurance, stopping guys?
I think it certainly helps. The more fresh you could be, the better pass rush you can have. The better pass rush you can have, the harder it is to convert on third down. And they tried to stick some runs in there, and I think we did a great job gobbling up the run game on third down. And there's this game could have gone either way, and unfortunately for us, it went to them.
Last question.
Ty, making a big play late in the game. What can you say about just the progress for both of you guys?
Keep getting better. Everybody has to keep getting better. Ty is a sophomore, same class as Jacob, right? These guys are young. It's a young team in a lot of ways, and he just keeps getting better. And we'll continue to see great stuff from him as well as from all these guys.
All right, that's it.
Thank you.
All right, that is the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Jedd Fisch, along with quarterback Jaden DeLora and linebacker Jacob Cowing. 31-24, the final score tonight for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Interesting what Jedd Fisch said there. He feels like the environment at Arizona Stadium can be like what you saw at Mississippi State tonight. Now, there were only 51,000 people at Mississippi State. It wasn't like, LSU or Alabama or some of these other places where the crowd is 80 or 90,000 people. There were just 51,000 people, but it was a loud 51,000 people with all those cowbells. There's no question that the Wildcats in this community can draw 50,000 people into Arizona Stadium. Can they recreate that, what we saw tonight? That would take some work, but I think Jedd's got a point. You can put 50,000 people into Arizona Stadium. I don't know that you're going to have that type of environment because, J-Dub, and you can join me here, I don't know if you've got that type of investment, lifelong investment here in this community.
I think the transplant nature of the community is pretty obvious. A lot of retirees come out here from the Midwest and other places of the country. Many times they bring their allegiances with them, GK. But to me, that doesn't mean that they won't be loud and rambunctious for the University of Arizona, their adopted college and university.
The final tonight. Want to also update you, Arizona volleyball was in action today over in Wisconsin, in Madison, Wisconsin, their final game at the Wisconsin tournament, and the ladies did not fare well today as they were beaten in straight sets by the Miami Hurricanes 3-0. So the Wildcats fall to 3-5 on the season. Just some of the numbers from that ball game. Jalen Hodge, 19 kills, led Arizona. 19 assists by Anna Heath, 11 digs today by Anna Heath. So she had a double-double. The Wildcats 3-5. They'll come home. They'll have another tournament here coming up this weekend at McHale Center. Will the ladies, and let me just tell you quickly who they'll play this weekend. Long Beach State on Thursday night. So this is a tournament that will start early. They'll play Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday. Long Beach State on Thursday, New Mexico State on Saturday, New Mexico State on Friday, Alabama State on Saturday. That's going to wrap up our coverage here tonight. Don't forget, we will be with you, DK on the Sports Tip, 3 o'clock on Monday. We will have more for you. We'll hear from Jedd Fisch on Monday at his press conference. We'll have that for you live here at 1:30. Jedd Fisch radio show on Monday at 6:05. And then next Saturday, our coverage for the game will begin at 3:30 in the afternoon from the U of A Mall for the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show. Kickoff on next Saturday against UTEP is 8 o'clock. For J.W. Madden, for Glenn Howe and Kelvin Efon, I am David Kelly. We'd like to thank them. Most of all, we'd like to thank you for listening. Once again, your final score from Starkville, Mississippi tonight, the Mississippi State Bulldogs 31, the Arizona Wildcats 24. Have a great night, everybody, on the Wildcats Radio Network and Wildcats 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you in part by Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, the Tucson Police Department, Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, and University Termite and Pest Control.
Since we've been here for almost 100 years in Southern Arizona, everyone knows O'Reilly.